So today we're going to be reacting to the mock draft for USA Today, and as usual with all these publications, it's as if the draft stops after 12 picks. I've not seen a mock draft with more than one round other than when Hunter Cruz does it on YouTube. And yeah, we're going to talk about USA Today's, and we're going to be reacting to it. So I'm going to be doing a mock draft myself between now and the draft, which is obviously a week from today. And to be fair, I would not mind doing a collab with someone who's actually, knows a single thing about these players, which is actually very few people in the YouTube space, to be honest. But anyway, yeah, so number one pick, obviously Paige Bueckers. Oh my God, I just scrolled and saw who number two is. Paige Bueckers. 2025 WNBA draft isn't called the Paige Bueckers sweepstakes for nothing. Bueckers is generational talent with her shot making and playmaking abilities. Well, I'd expect to hear a name called for. She's going one. She's going one. We all know she's going one. Scored 30 plus in 3 consecutive games. Yeah, she's going one. A player like the perfect guard to play beside Enrique. Is her rookie season going to be a lot of standing there and watching Enrique? Yes, it is. But Paige is going to have an extremely efficient rookie season. I think she's going to average, I'll give her 14, 3 assists, and 4 rebounds. I'll give her 14, 3, and 4. I'm going to give her 14, 3, and 4, and she's going to be an all-star. That's my prediction. Not all W players. She's going to be 14, 3, and 4 and make an all-star team. And they might just give her all defense just to give it to her. But this is crazy. Imagine wasting the second pick on Sonia Citron. Olivia Miles expected to go second overall. Based on what? They had a fight. The Storm parted ways with Jewel Lloyd, and they acquired a second overall pick. Didn't have the best showing in the tournament. It won't affect Citron's draft stock. Man, I'm sorry if you are giving the third if you are picking the third best player on a college team who lost in the Sweet 16, second in the draft, you are crazy. If the Seattle Storm do this, I'm going to be doing my live stream reactions. I am just going to start laughing if the Seattle Storm waste a number 2 pick on Lexi Hull 2.0. What are we doing? What are we doing? She can't guard fast guards. She's a good defender. She's a disciplined defender more than she is a super good defender. And in fairness to Citron, she can shoot a little bit. Very streaky when it comes to shooting. She was shooting 20% for a while from 3. And yeah, with the way this draft is, I don't hate Citron taking her in that Mystics 3 pick range. But she is going to be in the league for 10 years. She may or may not start. She might be coming off the bench for 10 years. She is a connective piece. If you waste the number 2 pick on a connective piece when you have player with GOAT potential on the board, it does not even matter. It does not even matter if it turns out that Malonga's a bust. Hindsight's always 2020. You do not pass on a player with literal GOAT potential for Sonia Citron, and I don't even think Citron's a bad player. In this year's draft, there is Paige Bueckers is a sure thing right away. There is Malonga, who has almost GOAT potential, and the rest of the draft, I don't think a single player outside of Paige Bueckers starts next year. Especially, anyway, game 1. There might be a player somewhere that just ends up being way better than expected. Game 1, I don't think there's a single player that starts in this draft class outside of Paige Bueckers. And if you are taking a bench player, a potential career bench player in all of these players, over Malonga, you deserve to lose your job. Malonga, French takeover doesn't just apply to the NBA. Dominique Malonga will follow in the footsteps of fellow countryman Wembanyama and be drafted to pro. 6'6" center is the ultimate athlete and can do it all with speed and length. He's averaging 15, 10, 1.2 blocks while shooting 53% for France's Leon Asvel. Did we mention she's only 19? She turns 20 in November. The Mystics have been quiet in free agency, but new general manager Jamila Weidman and head coach Sidney Johnson will take a step toward building their future with Malonga. If Malonga's there 3, Malonga's going 3. Do you want to know why Malonga's going 3? The Mystics literally brought her in for a workout. And I think a big reason why they traded the pick with Chicago is so they can get Malonga. What I could potentially see happening, by the way, is I could see the Mystics trading up with the Seattle Storm, and the Seattle Storm getting Sonia Citron, and maybe the Mystics taking some salary back. And then I'm trying to think of who the Mystics might be able to get if they really want Malonga. Might have to give up maybe a Carly Samuelson type player. Like, the Storm aren't going to get Jade Melbourne back. They're not. I don't think the Mystics are going to give up Sika Kone. You'll probably have to maybe get like a Carly Samuelson, and Carly Samuelson comes right in and starts for the Seattle Storm. If that salary works, I can actually really see, like, the Mystics, I think, are coming out with Malonga. The Mystics, if they're smart, they're doing whatever they can to come out with Malonga, because their team is rebuilding and they're going to play her right away. But they do need to sort something out if they want her. She's not going past 2. She's not going past 2 at all. But Anissa Morrow, I actually like Anissa Morrow at 4, you know. I actually like Anissa Morrow at 4. You can't teach that motor. You cannot teach the motor that Anissa Morrow has. She's so much better than Kiki Iriafen at 5. And like, Kiki Iriafen is literally like, I'm watching her play and I'm like, you should be good. Have you guys ever watched someone play basketball and you're like, you should be so much, it's like, oh my God, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. You should be so good. That is almost a Kiki Iriafen, how I feel about Kiki Iriafen. And the annoying thing about Kiki is, again, she still does not have a 3-ball. It is not, first of all, it's hard to develop a 3-ball when you can't shoot. When you've got good mechanics, when you're a good mid-range shooter, when you can shoot a turnaround mid-range shot, it's not hard to develop a 3-ball in that scenario. So, yeah, that is, and I stand by that. Kiki Iriafen, look, you still take her a 5 if you're the Valkyries. Kiki Iriafen will start for you. Will she over Temi and Monique Billings? You're going to suck anyways. You're going to start Kiki. But, like, she's just not, like, any big game. Kiki Iriafen she's just fine. When she's hitting the mid-range shot, she looks good. When she's not hitting the mid-range shot, she's poor man's Angel Reese. She's a worse rebounder than Angel Reese. She's as bad a finisher around the basket as Angel Reese. She's literally worse Angel Reese, but she can dunk, so people are hyped. Cheyenne Sellers at 6. I would take Juicy Jacite. If I was the Mystics, I would take Jacite, just because she's the same height, higher potential, can run the 1. But I do like Cheyenne Sellers. I think her defense is good. I think she is a passable shooter. I don't think the shooting is going to translate. I think she's going to be a mediocre shooter in the W. But she's big. She's a big guard. Especially if that's what they're looking at, then they've got a big guard combo of her and Jade Melbourne running the 1. I would assume Jade Melbourne probably going to come in and start at the 1 next year, because they are rebuilding with Cheyenne Sellers coming off the bench. Or maybe they find a way to move Brittany Sykes and have Cheyenne Sellers and Jade Melbourne kind of playing this young combo guard. Both of them kind of play the 1-2, share the ball, bringing the ball up, ball handling duties. That could be really interesting. But Cheyenne Sellers, jack of all trades, I actually don't mind her at 7. I don't mind Aisha Sivka. Like, she's a 6'4" shooter who has length and is a passable enough defender that you're hoping that she becomes a good defender. I don't hate Sivka for Connecticut Sun. Again, if I was going for an overseas player, I still would go with Jacite there. But I would assume then they've mocked Amore probably going to the Sun, because the Sun do need a point guard. So yeah, if you're gonna take Aisha Sivka, if you're gonna take a player that I think is, of all these players, Sivka's most likely gonna be a stash player. I think Jacite comes over, and I think Malonga comes over, and I'm 99% sure Malonga's coming over. I don't know about Jacite. I would assume she's coming over if she pushed to get into this year's draft. And then Aisha Sivka, I'm not sure. I haven't heard much about her. I've just kind of watched her play a little bit. High potential. She might be 2 years away from being 2 years away, but I don't mind it. There are not many 6'4" shooters, and the fact that she projects to be like a Katie Lou Samuelson day 1, if she progresses and becomes a better defender, she's more athletic than Katie Lou, she could be a legit player. And heck, at the 7th pick, if you can just get someone who will be a starter in the WNBA, you're happy. The number 8 pick, yeah, it's Georgia Amore. So Georgia Amor to the Connecticut Sun. The Sun back on the board. I actually don't mind this for the Sun. The problem is, like, Georgia Amor is not young either. And she's like 24. She's almost Sedona Prince age. So, again, she can cook. She's a hooper. She is an absolute hooper. Got a handle. I just don't like the 5'6" point guards. That's just my opinion. To be a 5'6" point guard, for me, you got to be like a Jordan Canada, where you are that good at perimeter defensively. Hailey Van Lith in the first round to the Sparks. I don't like this one. I don't like this pick at all. Like, why would you pick worse Kelsey Plum? Like, when you need defense. Like, who's gonna play defense? You can't just bank that Cameron Brink's gonna bail you out, especially in a year off an ACL tear. This team doesn't play defense. Kelsey Plum can be a pest and guard someone full court, but you can't lock someone up. Their current point guard is Kelsey Plum. Their current shooting guard. Who does Sparks even have? Have I blanked on the Sparks shooting guard? Like, who does Sparks have? Because they've got, obviously, Rakia Jackson playing the 3, De'Erica Hamby and Cam Brink. Is Ray Burrell going to start this year for this team? And are they going to go tall? Like, I don't think Ray Burrell's like an awkward defender, more so, geez, lockdown. Or is Odyssey Sims going to start at the 1? Either way, like, I don't see Ari McDonald's still there. Julie Alamon's back. There's no way Van Lith plays. And if you're... Oh, and they've Azareza back a big... There's no way Van Lith plays. Gets any burn. There's no way Van Lith might make the roster for this specific team. You need defense. Take Sanaya Rivers. This team has got next to nothing on defense. You take the best defender in the draft as Sanaya Rivers. You've got size. You've got fours. You've got hybrid players. You've got lengthy wings in Rakia Jackson and Ray Burrell. You do not need a 5'7" point guard when Kelsey Plum's a 5'7" guard and you've got Odyssey Sims. You do not need Hailey Van Lith because you're not trying to lose because you don't have your pick. Tahina Paopao to the Sky. I mean, bit of a boring pick there, isn't it? Tahina Paopao just getting a shooter. She's not going to start. She's not. The problem is that Mariah Jefferson's there. And I don't know how many minutes there's going to be for Paopao in that Sky team. Like, the Sky starting lineup is probably going to be... You're going to start Angel the 4, Camilla at the 5, probably Onyenwere at the 3. Even though I think at this point in time, Beck Allen's better, but I still think they go with Onyenwere just to start the season. And then obviously Atkins and Sloot. Mariah Jefferson is a vet point guard. Like, if they wanted... Like, I don't even know what they need. Because you got Beck Allen at the 3 off the bench. Like, you lost Izzy Harrison. Like, they signed a few players. They signed a few shooters, if I'm not mistaken. And obviously fit matters in these scenarios. But I don't know if, like, Tahina Paopao might not make the roster. Like, you can't forget, Tahina Paopao is a 5th-year senior. She did not look great in a lot of things. Obviously, they have Elizabeth Williams, who's a big off the bench. Then Kia Nurse probably coming off the bench too, who's better than Paopao at Paopao's position. Rachel Banham is better than Paopao at Paopao's position. If you want to say Banham's not better, look at what Banham did in college. Like, she's just not going to make the roster. And if she does make the roster, like, I just don't know if she's going to play. I don't know if she's going to get any burn. So if I'm the Chicago Sky, I look for who the Lynx are drafting here. I look for a big guard because you've got your backup 5, you've got your backup 5, and you can just run the 3 big rotation. Find if a team gets rid of a power forward, bring in a power forward. They've got a few stretch bigs, half decent stretch bigs they can kind of bring in and play something, but they're just going to have a three player rotation at the bigs. And they got that, and they've also got 2 5'6" point guards. And unless you want to play Ariel Atkins at the 1, I saw her doing that a little bit at Washington. I didn't like how Washington looked with Ariel Atkins at the 1. So you go for a big guard. Even if they're going to sit on the end of the bench, you would rather have a big guard than a Paopao sitting on the end of the bench, because at least the big guard offers something different than Sloot and Mariah Jefferson. So if the team is struggling size-wise, you can put that big guard in. Ideally, you take Cheyenne Sellers if she's here. But at this point, Serena Sundell, or you go with my Sanaya Rivers suggestion. Sanaya Rivers could be a very good suggestion because if this is going to be a gritty defensive team, Sanaya Rivers is the best defender in the draft. So, and she can play on the ball pretty well. Yeah, I know Paopao can shoot, but they've fixed their shooting problems. I don't even know what position Paopao plays in the WNBA. I don't, as much as their defense improved, I don't know if she can guard anyone in the WNBA. I don't know if she can play to win the WNBA. I just don't like Paopao in the first round. Serena Sundell. Sundell's a really interesting one because, again, super passer, big, can shoot a little bit, and it's a no-risk one for the Lynx. If you're the Lynx, you've already got your team. No one that you're drafting here is breaking into rotation. If I'm the Lynx, I take Jusei Josite purely because they're not going to play anyway, and just send Josite back to France. Let her play with the Lithuanian team in the summer. You've got the highest upside player still there in this draft. You don't need her straight away. Your team's sorted. And then in 2 years' time, you bring in Josite when Fee is 30 and you're trying to really go for it. And suddenly you have a 20 or 21-year-old Josite who's played 7 years of pro ball overseas, ready to come in and potentially start or at least be a much better option than Heidemann in 2 years. And because she's gone for 2 years, she's on a much better rookie scale deal. And Sanaya Rivers to the wings. I don't hate Sanaya Rivers to the wings. Actually, I do hate. Why would the Wings take Sanaya Rivers? You've got Dejanay Carrington, who's a better version of her. She can't come in as a backup point guard, which I think would be her best role in the W. Coming in as just a lockdown backup point guard to just bring in energy. Because I actually do rate her quite highly as a passer. And you've got Ty Harris on the wings. There has to be better options if you are Dallas. Again, if you're Dallas, you're kind of hoping that Serena Sundell's there. But for me, maybe just go all out offense. Maybe get Isaiah James. And by the way, for the Chicago Sky also, Isaiah James over Te-Hina Paopao 100 times out of 100. But this draft is so deep. It is so deep. And the fact is that I can guarantee you whoever wrote this does not know who Jusei Josite is, because there is no way, and I mean this, there is absolutely no way that Josite is not taken in the first round. Absolutely no way. And again, look, for all the people that are going to say Sedona Prince can't even do anything against bigs. She can't even do anything against bigs in college. She can't do anything against bigs in the WNBA. And I'm just looking through some players. Sarah Ashley Barker is interesting. The Fever, I'm guessing, are going to take Sultau. And I think they're going to take both Sultau, and I think they're going to take what's her name? I think they're going to take, geez, I forgot her name. Kosu. I think they're going to just stash two players because they can't bring them. I'm actually looking at 3-round mock draft. Sanaya Fagan still on the board. Do you take her late if you are the Wings? If you need size, you don't really need size. The Wings, for me, more so than anything, just need kind of wing depth. Because I think Seagrass is more of a forward and a 3. So you're good at the 4 position. You're good at the 5 position because I think Smith and Hines Allen can slide up to the 5 a little bit. So they do need just kind of that wing depth because Dejanay Paige is very good starting wing combo, but I would very much be on the side of taking Isaiah James. I really rate her highly. I'm looking here, Maddie Westbeld, no. I've seen Sedona Prince be mocked to them, no. So yeah, for the Wings, I don't even mind Sanaya Rivers, to be honest. I just don't know how the fit is. I take Sanaya Rivers either higher or lower, but not letting Sanaya Rivers fall to the Aces I'm happy with that. I don't want her in the Aces. But anyway, yeah, that's the video. I'll see you guys.